Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today I am planting up what I call my special Heidi's planter. This is a planter that goes right up against our house, right by the front door, and it's kind of one of the only the shady spots that we have in our garden for a container. So I tend to use some of the different plants than what we can normally use in other things where we have more sun. So this year I'm kind of doing some of the old, some of the same, and then some of the old that I've used in years past, because there's certain things I'm just stuck on and I love. So what am I using? So in this AquaPot, which is a self-watering planter, we refill this about every 5 to 7 days, depending on the plants. Being that it's in a shady area, it doesn't need to get refilled in there as often. So that's nice. It doesn't have to be watered every single day because of the pot we're using. So in the back of this pot, I'm going to actually kind of see if I can turn it a little bit here. These are heavy planters. It's going to be the Pegasus, or Griffoon is another name, begonia. So this begonia is planted purely just for this foliage interest, and it's going to get pretty tall in the back of the planter. So this is what I'm going to use kind of as a thriller, but it's also going to be a very wide thriller. So it's really going to be a beautiful backdrop. In the middle of the planter, I'm going to be using the Senecio Angel Wings. This is a beautiful plant, nice texture. It's for the foliage. This beautiful silver foliage is really, I think, going to be stunning with the various flowers I'm going to be planting. Also towards the back, I'm going to be using the Firecracker Fuchsia, which has got great foliage. You'll notice a lot of what I'm doing here is really based off of the foliage color. So it's got some green and some pinks, a little bit of white going on there. This is an upright fuchsia that gets kind of a corally orange narrow flower on it. So that will be really pretty once this starts to bloom. On either side of the angel wings, I'm using two of the autumnal, it's a hard word to say, the autumnal fuchsia, which again has beautiful foliage on it. And this one too will get kind of a magenta red flower, but more so I'm just using it for its foliage interest. Up front, I do want to have some flower color in this planter, so I'm using the Silenia begonias. This is the Silenia apricot. I know I say it all the time, I'm not an orange person, but look what I'm doing. I'm planting orange in one of my focal planters, and I've been loving the Silenia apricot color. A little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, nice kind of a compact mounding type habit, and just lots of flowers throughout the summer. Up front, I'm using another begonia. This is a Bossa Nova begonia, Bossa Nova white, and this is going to be kind of a begonia that kind of dangles over the front of the pot. So kind of corals, oranges, whites really is kind of the theme for this planter this year. So the first plant we're going to put in is the Pegasus begonia. You'll notice that it's in our eco-friendly pot. I actually am not going to plant this into my soil. I don't like to do that, especially with annuals. So we're going to go ahead and just put this and use it in the compost bin. Get rid of my tags. Get that planted in the back. I was just kind of looking this over, and I only have one of these Firecracker Fuchsia. I'm going to actually grab another one because I'm kind of a symmetrical person, and with just one, it wasn't feeling very symmetrical. So I'm going to get another one and put it on either side of the begonia. So I'll go back and do that in a little bit when I head out to the greenhouse. So I'm leaving a spot right here next to the Pegasus. Next we've got the autumnal fuchsia. You know your day has been great when you look down and you see these little white pots all over the ground. Next, we're going to get this Senecio Angel Wings planted. This too is in that compostable pot, and I am not going to do that, but let me show you how this actually works for those of you that do choose to do this. So this pot can be planted right into the ground, and it will break down. Basically, you pop these tabs off the sides and off the bottom to expose the roots. Now the roots can grow down and out the sides right into your landscape. For perennials, we'll do this, but for annuals, we plant in the same area year after year, so I don't like to have this stuff the next year. It does take a few years for this to break down, so we will choose not to be doing that this year. Pop that out. Look at that great root structure. So now some people might say, oh my word, we got to tassel or razzle these roots or break them up a little bit. I'm not going to. I'm going to just stick this right in the planter like it is. Next, we've got the Silenia begonias, Silenia apricot. Plant that right up kind of in the front and to the edge. And then the Bossa Nova white right up in the front so it can hang out and dangle over the front. Now the one thing I really did not use in my planter this year are any spillers, any vines that are going to hang over. Typically I do that. So you know, this year I'm not going to. I want to see what it looks like without that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this watered in really well with these AquaPots. It's best if you water them from the top down for the first few waterings. That way you're saturating all your soil, and then you can go ahead and fill them through the fill tube so that way the plants can soak the moisture up through the bottom. Also, we'll stick a little fertilizer down in the hole. That way these plants can constantly be getting fed as they're getting watered. We'll keep you updated on how this progresses throughout the summer. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.